it doesn't matter why people train. We need to be accepting of other people's goals as long as they are getting fit. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so. And if you'll be kind enough to drop a comment below, I would appreciate that so much. This is something that I need to be careful of because there have been times when I kind of was harsh on people for competing in bodybuilding, even though at the time I was doing it, I literally had friends who competed in bodybuilding, like real life friends. So it's just kind of funny. We do tend to do that in this area. We tend to belittle other people's stuff. Power lifters will mock bodybuilders. Bodybuilders will mock power lifters. Some of us will be like, oh, your goal is silly, all this stuff, right? Or people will make fun of CrossFitters, and CrossFitters just think we're all goofy. And here's the thing, guys. We live in a society with a health and obesity epidemic, right? Think about that for a minute. We are in a society with a health and obesity epidemic. At this point, we should be encouraging people to get into the gym for any reason, for any goal. Okay? It doesn't even matter what it is. All right? And yeah, I will be the first to say, guys, you need to train your legs. Women, you need to train your arms, right? So stuff like that, sure, we can give guys a hard time for that. Okay? Because they're shortchanging their health. They're shortchanging their progress. It's like, you're already going to be in the gym, get all the results. But at least they're in the gym, and at least we do have to give them credit for that. Because again, we need to be clear. Over 90 to 95% of all deaths in America are cardiovascular, diabetes, or cancer related. That is what is killing us. That's what's killing us as a population. Right? So anyone who's trying to be fit, who's trying to work out, we need to encourage that. Now, that doesn't mean we should encourage bad methods or crazy diets or dangerous diets. Right? I'll be the first to be like, look, this carnivore thing has to go. Veganism has its own problems. It's silly. Carnivore is straight dangerous to your health. But we're back over to this is literally dangerous to people's health while pretending that it's good for it. Like, this is a problem. But as far as people's goals or why they're in the gym, no, we have to be accepting of that. And fitness culture used to not be so divided. And I think this is part of the problem is human nature. Because those of us who are entrenched in fitness or seriously involved with it, because we see this is our world, this is our world, that we start dividing off, because humans love to put themselves in a group. They love in-group, out-group bias. There used to be a time where people who actually trained and took lifting or working out or going to the gym seriously were such a small segment of the population. It was a brotherhood and sisterhood already. Like you in a normal gyms, there was camaraderie, there was community. A long time ago, 25 years ago when I got into that's how it was, right? There was camaraderie. Like everyone who was going to the gym, like they acted like family, all right? Unless someone really, messed up and caused problems, and they might need to be booted from the gym. But different era. But it's because it was smaller. We already had an in-group, out-group bias back then. It was people who don't work out or whatever. They're 98% of the population. We're already the elite here. But I think because so many more people train, humans like to divide themselves off into groups. It's human nature. We do that, but it's not always good, because in this case, again, keep in mind how much more obese and unhealthy our society has gotten since then. Okay? Especially in the last 10 years, since I've been doing social media, right? Since I've been doing the YouTube and the Facebook and all this, because I've been doing these like 13 years, putting out fitness content that long. I've been published for 12 years. So when you look at that, how much more obese and out of shape society has gotten, we've got to stop this nonsense, and we've got to just be encouraging. We need to work on getting gym culture back, and that includes myself, right? I'm not just talking to all of y'all, I'm talking to myself too. We have to do better on this, and we have to be more accepting of other people's goals and encouraging, because at least they're not where the general population is. And when we start acting that way and we have this elitism towards each other, it's not a good look. Instead, we need to all be encouraging, right? I have a habit of taking some guy who's really lean and aesthetic, and if they're really weak, hey dude, says, you got a great physique, hey, let's work on your strength more. And by that same token, you have the same thing of even when I'm powerlifting, and I'll get bodybuilders who they even give me a hard time now. I'm like, guys, I'm not that by any measure. Why aren't you really in shape and lean, But I'm like, dude, you look like me in the off season. What are you talking about? But we do this, but we probably shouldn't. We need to be more accepting. It needs to be community. It needs to be us encouraging everyone in their goals. And I do that a lot more, like on, say, my Facebook and stuff now, because I have a larger set of audience there. And I have a lot of people who come through who they just wanted to lose weight, be in shape. They've lost lots of weight. They're not really jacked. They don't move heavy weights. But you know what? I still have advice and help for them. They're still there on my page. They're still posting. They're part of my little communities on there. Some of them have their own outreaches. And so, yeah, we have to do this. We have to look at it and say, when we have a society this out of shape, someone who's just working on the goal of losing 50 pounds or 100 pounds, that's got to be celebrated. Oh, no, they don't have an elite total. Oh, no, they're never going to step on a stage. Well, who cares? Oh, no, they're not going to go compete in the CrossFit Games. It doesn't matter. We need to all be community, and not just these smaller communities of each group sees itself as completely better than all the others. We've got to stop that. Because realistically, everyone here who has been going to the gym consistently 3 days a week for more than a year and who eats a healthy diet at all is already in the elite. We're already a technically elite group as far as mainstream society is concerned. We don't have to divide that off into these others. And I get it, in competition it matters. Okay, so when you're in competition, you have to be that way with the other competitors. But even then, you still see brotherhood and welcomeness among people who are competing against each other. So even that doesn't really fly, does it? Right? We have to continue to work on facilitating a positive gym culture with all this stuff. We have to, guys. We've got to be welcoming to outsiders. We have to be welcoming to new people. We have to make them feel encouraged and welcome, because that is a big factor for new people who are scared to get in shape. That intimidation, and that is literally killing people. They're going to die because of that. It's much younger. We have to work on it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.